everybody. It's day 5 of the Write Your Birth Plan with me, the Virtual Midwife, Karen Wilmot. And I know that actually yesterday was day 5, but I had some technical issues. So hopefully sorted those out. And I'm just trying to make things a little bit better and easier for you and to give you more information in these live videos. So we're actually taking a break with the group for the weekend on Saturday and Sunday. And we start again on Monday with day 6. But what we discussed in the group yesterday with day 5 was the passenger, and the passenger being your baby. And everything that we've discussed up until day 5 impacts your baby. The way that you experience the sensations of labor impacts, and the choices that you make surrounding that will impact your baby. So whether or not you choose to use medical pain relief options, so how those affect and the risk-benefit ratio of all your medical pain relief options. We discussed position on day 2 and how your baby is affected by the different positions that you adopt throughout your pregnancy, throughout your labor, and in the moments of birth. We talked about the pelvis and the passage that the baby passes through. And then on day 4, we talked about the powers and the muscular contractions of the uterus and how it works to move your baby down and out. Now, as always, our main priority is the health and safety of you and your baby. And I was very lucky and very privileged to work with and do courses with a South African midwife called Robin Sheldon, who wrote the book, The Mama Bamba Way, The Power and Pleasure of Natural Birth. And she has an incredible process of helping mums to connect to their unborn babies that I was very privileged to learn with her. But I wanted to read a bit out of this book because it just relates to so much of what we've been learning in this challenge, so much of what I teach and promote, and so much what I work with during your pregnancy to help create, and in fact, why I do what I do. And it's from her book, Mama Bamba, and it's the chapter Feeling the Power of Birth. And what she says is that loving birth is a parallel experience to loving life. We cannot experience a birth filled with love and laughter without embracing the fullness of it. The idea of embracing the pain and intensity of birth may seem frightening and even foolish, but wholeheartedly diving into the experience transmutes it. In birth, welcoming each painful sensation as it arises has the potential to change that experience. And then I move forward to another chapter where I wanted to really read something together with you, to you, about working together with your baby, because it's not just about you giving birth, it's about accepting and embracing the fact that your baby is being born. When we work together with our babies during labor, we can create a sacred birth experience. Babies whose mothers are consciously aware of the connection between them during the labor and birth are more likely to be alert and peaceful. When caregivers forget this and remove mothers from the intensity of their labors with epidurals and elective C-sections, their babies are effectively left to experience birth unsupported by their emotional connection to their mothers. Now, that's not to say that if you do end up having a C-section that you are emotionally disconnected from your baby, and we discuss that and how to stay connected with your baby throughout. But as a result of technology and medical interventions, the intense private states of transition from woman to mother and from fetus to newborn can be overlooked. And we have become desensitized to the emotions surrounding the birth experience. Part of the reason we often try to escape the experience of birth is because of the fear that is built up around labor. And this fear arises not only from centuries of cultural conditioning, but also from television, from horror birth stories, and from the medical establishment themselves. So for many women, avoiding the vivid and passionate intensity of labor is a logical choice. Society's fear and ignorance has limited the range of options available for how we give birth, sometimes to the extent that women are led to believe that a naturally born baby is not possible or even desirable. Instead of dealing with the source of the problem, which is fear, the medical profession worldwide expends vast sums of energy and finance on removing birth from its raw and primal state. So essentially, what I'm trying to, the message of today's class is the connection to your baby and the importance of maintaining that connection and understanding that everything that you've got in your birth plan is about you and your baby, and the importance of staying connected to your baby so that together you make those decisions, you make those choices based on what's going on around you, but taking fear out of it and moving into that sense of trust. It's about learning to work with your baby as a team and bearing in mind that every decision that you make impacts your baby. Hi, Judy. How lovely to see you. So, as I said, we're having a break for the weekend, and on day when we start again on Monday, it'll be day 6, and we move on to the next stage of writing your birth plan. But everything's coming together for the ladies in the group, and they're starting to understand the implications of all their choices, the choices that are available, and how they're going to change constantly as labor progresses, but also helping them to enjoy their pregnancy a little bit more. So I'll see you again on Monday for another live session, and have a lovely weekend.